Oh, great. I can't see a damn thing now. Let's refresh that, and yeah, I will start this. Hello everyone, Ian here. How you doing today? Today I am back, of course, live streaming some more. Just knocks the water bottle off to the side. Why am I talking slow? I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna talk loud and proud at the minute because even though it's late, a lot of my family's still downstairs and my brother's still on his Xbox. So you know what? Let's get to this. I am of course starting off with top 5, and yeah, let's just shut up and get into it basically. Boom.
The world is full of mysteries that may never be solved. Sometimes that's because the vital data has been lost or an archaeological site has been destroyed. Other times it's because new evidence is unlikely to be found due to the
Yeah.
passage of time, and the
Yeah.
surviving documentation is too limited to lead experts to a definitive answer. But often, the lack of answers just makes the subjects more intriguing. While here we'll look at 5 enduring mysteries of the world and nature, some that are close to being solved, but that still hold a fascination to both the public and the experts trying to solve them. So as always, sit back and enjoy the wonders of the world we live in. The vanished Roanoke Island colony. In 1584, English settlers arriving in the New World attempted to set up a colony on Roanoke Island, North Carolina. However, after less than a year, they abandoned their plans due to severe weather, lack of supplies, and poor relations with the indigenous people. 3 years later, they tried again, and in 1587, Virginia Dare was born, the granddaughter of Captain John White, one of the founders of the colony. Virginia was said to be the first English-born child in the New World. But all was not well for the settlers, and Captain John was forced to leave his family and returned to England to obtain supplies. John remained in England for the next 3 years, as the Queen had forbidden all shipping due to Spanish Armada attacks on England. When he finally returned to Roanoke Island in 1590, the settlers, along with his family, had vanished. It is said that all he found was the words Crow and Croatoan carved on 2 trees. When John saw these words, he believed that the settlers had sought the help of the Croatan Indians on the nearby Hatteras Island. He was, however, puzzled, as before he left for England, it had been decided by the group that should they move during his absence due to disaster or attack, a Maltese cross image would be left behind to indicate this. However, no such symbol was found. John knew the settlers had established good relations with the Croatans, so it was plausible for him to assume that the colonists had gone there. Yet due to the terrible weather conditions, White was unable to investigate the matter further, and decided to go back to England instead, leaving behind the mysterious disappearance of the colony and his family. White never returned to the New World, and never heard from his family again. To this day, their fate, and that of the other settlers, is unknown.
What's the New World? Hold on. I genuinely want to find out. I had my microphone muted for that time then because I was ripping more stuff off. Just give me a minute. So that way you could, of course, listen. And, I mean, I'm listening as well, but yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah. What's the New World? New World Wikipedia images. Really? Okay, that's weird. That's a bit odd. Whatever.
So what happened to them? One of the theories is that they managed to integrate themselves with the Croatan people. This theory is backed up by historians who wrote of a tribe of North Carolina Indians who spoke English fluently, practiced Christianity, and called themselves Croatan Indians. Also, there were between 20 and 30 English surnames from the Roanoke settlers found in the Croatan tribe, suggesting that integration between the two peoples had happened. But by the early 17th century, the Croatans had become extinct, but their direct descendants, the Lumbee, who still exist today, appear to have prominent European features. By 1650, the Lumbee had migrated and settled in Robson County. Although the intermarriage between the Croatans and the missing English settlers is the most popular explanation for the origins of the Lumbee, it is not accepted.
Give me a minute. This is too warm. Way too warm. Hey, Bella! I wanted to get a new one because this one was too warm as well, so I'm just going to get a new one as well. Be right back. You can see the wet mark on here. Yeah, you can. Didn't mean to do that, but by the way, you can see all of this is live as well. Like, none of this is fake. None of this is pre-recorded, is what people call it. And yes, I know you can pre-record stuff and then set it as a live stream, but I'm not one of them people. I mean, I may have I may have rubbish and weird editing software. Hello, you, right here. I may have really old and weird editing software, so you can see that I don't, you know, edit stuff beforehand. So, where's my headphones? Yeah, let's get on with this live stream, huh?
By all, some believe that a darker fate befell the settlers. Many believe cannibalism by local tribes was responsible for their disappearance, and this accounts for the lack of human remains found at the site. Others suggest the settlers
I feel like
died
I'm
of
too
disease
loud.
or starvation, or that they perished at sea while desperately trying to return to England. Then in 1937, Louis E. Hammond, a California tourist, found a stone by the east bank of the Chowan River in Chowan County, North Carolina. The stone weighed around 21 pounds and was covered in markings that Hammond couldn't decipher. He took it to Emory University, asking for help to interpretate the markings. The inscription was interpreted as a message from Eleanor White Dare, John's daughter and mother of Virginia. It appeared to be an update to her father. This is their interpretation.
I don't get it. John is dead and? That's not that hard to read. There's a cross in it as well. Okay, yeah. That is going to be hard to read, and as you can hear right now, the bloody house is playing up again. Yeah. Oh, I was kind of whispering then so you could hear that it was playing up, but it should stop in a few minutes. Could you even read the first part of that? Yeah, you could, but this part, I'll turn the camera off so you can. Sorry. Okay, that should be long enough now. I mean, you could just pause the live stream, but yeah, I'm gonna obviously continue.
After the find, a group of Emory professors travelled with Hammond to the site where he claimed to have discovered the stone. They could not determine the precise location of the find, but the trip convinced the professors that Hammond was telling the truth. The discovery prompted a wave of other stones being found, 47 in total, and they collectively became known as the Dare Stones.
Okay, the live stream's playing up again. Yeah, give me a second. You better not play up again. I'm bloody watching you. Hooray, the house has gone back to normal. Instead of being an absolute freak show.
The stones were inscribed with messages, supposedly written by members of the lost Roanoke colony. The stones created a media circus in the United States as the public became fascinated with the possible resolution of the lost colony's fate. However, the 47 stones found after Hammond's discovery were of a markedly different style and were eventually connected to a Georgia stonecutter and discredited. By 1941.
Okay, it's playing up again, give me a minute. Right, I've toned it down to 5,000 instead of 6,000, and... Oh my god, are you already kidding me? This is the first video as well. Look, I will do the rest of this video on my laptop if I have to. Keeping my eye on it.
Scholars and the press had dismissed all of the Dare stones as hoaxes. Although the authenticity of Hammond's original stone has not been conclusively proven or disproven, and recently researchers have taken another look at the first Dare stone, declaring if it's real, it's the most significant artifact in American history of early European settlement, and if it's not, it's one of the most magnificent forgeries of all time.
Yeah? Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, look, for once, 0 people are watching, instead of it always being 1. So yeah. Right. I am going to have my tablets and get my cup of tea. And yeah. North Korea, the lies and truths of Jim of King.
I know what to do.
What?
When you get iTunes, yeah. So you have say if you have a 50. If you've got money on your iTunes.
Separate, yeah. You can try if you want. I don't know. I don't know if you heard all of that because of how I've got the microphone set up. But my mum was asking um, yeah. My brother was trying to buy something off of YouTube with money in his iTunes account, and I think it's separate. I'm pretty sure it's separate because YouTube Premium and all that rubbish, and I don't know. I don't know. I said, well, you can try if you want. Well, you heard it then, obviously. You heard it then, obviously, but yeah. Give me a minute. Right. It's still playing up. Hi, Bella. Aww. Is it still hot to you? Still hot, isn't it? Alright, baby. Alright. Go on then. For some reason, she thinks the routine is for me to gently kick her in the backside. Not hard. I mean, just like all I have to do is touch her, and she moves. That's all I have to do. And instead of bending down to do it with my foot or a tap her backside, being like, come on, and then she moves. So yeah.
The stone may hold the key to finding out what actually happened to the settlers.
Am I too loud, by the way? I hope I'm not.
But for now, it still remains a mystery.
Let's find out. And instead of bending down to do it with my foot or a tap her backside, being like, come on, and then she moves. So yeah.
The stone may hold the key to finding out what actually happened to the settlers.
Am I too loud, by the way? I hope I'm not.
But for now, it's still...
Yeah, I couldn't understand what he was saying then, and I've literally just watched it. So let's turn it up to 65, another 10%. 69! Nice. 65, come on, no odd numbers. I mean, 5 is an odd number, but 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up to 100, so yeah.
Devil's Kettle Falls. At the waterfalls along Lake Superior's north shore, a river forks at a rock outcropping. While one side tumbles down a 2-step stone embankment and continues on like a typical waterfall, the other side vanishes into a deep hole and disappears. The spot is known as the Devil's Kettle, located in Judge C.R. Magny State Park in the US state of Minnesota.
They call it Devil's Kettle because people fall into it and the devil's like, yummy people for breakfast in my tea and coffee. This is stupid. Looks nothing like a kettle as well.
Minnesota. Where the water goes when it flows into the gigantic hole has baffled tourists and geologists for generations. Park visitors and curious minds have tested different theories as to where the water ends up by dropping sticks, coloured ping pong balls, GPS devices, and other objects into the hole without ever seeing them resurface downstream. Other reports have circulated, including a young man who rappelled 26 feet into the hole. Stories like that led to speculation that the waterfall must have a separate unknown outlet into Lake Superior, or that the water plunges deep into the Earth's crust. One thing is for sure, it is no doubt impressive.
Yeah, I guess. Why is Dewey filming it? Why is the guy filming sideways?
For years, where all that water went was a mystery. However, in February 2017, Minnesota's Department of Natural Resources strongly indicated after a series of experiments that the water simply flows back into the river at the bottom of the falls. But if it's really that simple, why has nothing ever been recovered in any of the ping pong ball experiments or anything else that has been dropped into the hole? Well, experts who carried out the official experiments explained that the pressure of the plunge explains why no objects have ever resurfaced. Since the force of that plunge is so great, any objects would be held down and pulverized into nothing, never reappearing. However, their experiments failed to establish exactly where the water is re-emerging, but they suspect it empties out right below where it flows in. It was decided that further experiments would be done to establish the outlet.
Not too loud.
Surfaced. Since the force of that all experts who carried out the official experiments explaining. However, their experiments failed to establish exactly where the water is re-emerging, but they suspect any object, official experiment, anything else that has been dropped into the hole. While experts who carried out the official experiments explained that the pressure of the plunge explains why no objects have ever been held by the force of that plunge. While experts who carried They wanted to drop a chemical dye into the hole with hopes that they would see the dye resurface at the bottom of the falls. It was the last test to be conducted to finally prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was in fact no mystery at all. But it seems the announcement caused another mystery, as to date that experiment has not been carried out, and apparently park management deemed it unnecessary, stating that it was not scientifically necessary to confirm that the water simply rejoins the river below the falls. This has caused more speculation, with many now questioning the untesting scientific theory, believing the mystery of where the Devil's Kettle's water goes. What do you think?
Who cares, really, you know?
The star jelly. A star jelly are blobs of gelatinous substance that appear on the ground, generally in rural areas. The blobs have been observed in a variety of translucent colours, ranging from white to luminous yellow. They are usually quite small, although large masses have been reported. The goo often evaporates shortly after appearing. But what are they, and where do they come from? Folklore suggests that the jelly falls from the stars during meteor showers. Others believe they are a kind of fungus. Some of the more bizarre theories are that they are a communication method from the dead, something excreted by aliens or a part of a government conspiracy to poison us. But in reality, no one knows what the mysterious substance is. The first recorded mention of the jelly was in the 14th century, when it was suggested it could be used to treat abscesses. It was also around this time that its name evolved from a star which has fallen to star slime, then finally to star jelly. In Mexico, locals even refer to it as moon excrement. In 1979, Fate magazine claimed they had solved the mystery of the gooey substance, saying it consisted of extraterrestrial cellular organic matter, which exists as prestellar molecular clouds. However, this claim has widely been dismissed, as it's very unlikely that the jelly comes from clouds. Even the closest molecule cloud to Earth, the Taurus molecule cloud, is 430 light-years away. Besides, most of the material in these clouds consists of gases and dust, not jelly-like goo. It is also unlikely that the substance comes from meteors, aka falling stars, as meteors rarely make it to the ground as they burn up in our atmosphere. Even if they did have a jelly element, it would never make it to the ground. Additionally, although it's assumed it falls from the sky, there are no account of anyone witnessing it. They just report finding the jelly in the morning after a meteor shower. A more plausible idea is that the gelatinous substance could be the remains of frogs, toads, worms, or other creatures, perhaps after a predator has spit them out. Another theory is that the substance is actually a type of algae. The blue algae, for example, forms colonies made up of cells in a gelatinous sheath. It's hard to see on the ground, but once it rains, it swells up. Another suggestion is it's connected to female amphibian reproduction. The spawn is held in a substance known as glycoprotein, which is stored in the female's body. But if the animal is attacked by a predator or scared, it will quite naturally drop its spawn and the associated glycoprotein. The glycoprotein is designed to swell on contact with water, or dewy ground, much like the algae mentioned earlier. However, no frog spawn has ever approached the size of some reported cases of star jelly. There is one problem with this theory, however. When the jelly was tested, it was concluded that the specimen did not contain any DNA, plant or animal. So it's unlikely that the substance has a connection with the animal or plant life in question, although it's worth pointing out that this was just one sample. Slime molds is another possibility. They can appear suddenly, exhibit a very gelatinous appearance at first, and later change to a dust-like form, which is dispersed by rain and wind. The colours range from striking pure white to pink, purple, bright yellow, orange, and brown, depending on the species. However, ultimately, no one really knows what causes star jelly, as it doesn't hang around long enough to be properly studied. So for now, this one is unsolved and still up for debate. If you ever see a blob of strange jelly-like goo on your morning walk, it's probably best to leave it alone.
Instead of like the guy in the video
And nature
touching it.
tricked us for years. Now this one is kind of solved, but it's still a great example of nature messing with our heads. Scattered across the world are several bewildering, mysterious spots that appear to defy gravity. Places where cars seem to drift uphill and cyclists struggle to push themselves downhill. They seem to defy the laws of physics. These bizarre areas are known as gravity hills and can be found in the US, the UK, Australia, Brazil, Italy and Canada.
The UK?
One of which my wife and I visited ourselves during a trip to Canada. Many have become tourist attractions, with people flocking to the area to experience the phenomena for themselves. Of course, these areas have spawned all sorts of rumours over the years, from unknown forces pulling you upwards, to witchcraft and giant magnets buried in the countryside. However, there is an explanation for this bizarre phenomenon, and it appears that it is nature getting the last laugh. It turns out they are just optical illusions, an illusion so good it can be impossible to believe with your own eyes, and you would need the proper equipment to prove it. If you get surveying equipment or GPS markers to measure the difference between the top of the slope and the bottom, you'll realise that everything is actually in reverse. The hills are sloped in a way that gives you the effect that you're going uphill, but you are actually going downhill, even though your brain gives you the impression that you're going uphill. According to psychologists, it's all about the horizon. Either it's obscured in areas with gravity hills, so we don't have a proper point of reference, or the horizon is there, but it obscures how the hill slopes in relation to the rest of the landscape.
Imagine if you lived on something like that and you was just used to it for years and years, and then like something I was used to, that person would be like, wait, hold on a minute, this doesn't seem right.
Of course, not everyone accepts the scientific explanation, as if you are on a gravity hill, it's hard to believe. For example, there is a gravity hill in Lake Wales, Florida, known as Spooky Hill, where a sign is displayed that tells the story of a great battle between a giant alligator and a Native American chief. A lake was formed at the site by the ghost of one of them, which is said to be the cause of the gravity hill. Here, you are actually encouraged to try out the gravity-defying hill for yourself. Many of the gravity hills around the world have been utilised as tourist attractions, some with fanciful tales attached to them to attract more visitors. But in reality, they are just a confusion of the brain caused by Mother Nature herself. "17 Tiny Coffins." In early July 1836, 3 Scottish boys were out searching for rabbit burrows in the rock formation near Edinburgh, known as Arthur's Seat. The boys came across some thin sheets of slate that appeared to have been placed over a rock alcove. When they removed the slate, it revealed 17 tiny coffins, each 3 or 4 inches long.
That's 10
There were
though.
2 tiers of 8 coffins each, and the third one with just 1 coffin. Not realising their significance, the boys started hurling the tiny boxes at each other, damaging many of them. The next day, the surviving coffins were retrieved by the boys' schoolmaster, Mr.
Hmm?
You were
I thought you called me then. As usual. Oh no! Funny! Did say over 1 million, probably. What's this? You gonna work this time instead of flipping be annoying? Okay. Just reading what it says on all this here.
Ferguson, who was a member of a local archaeological society. At this point, the coffins were still unopened, so Mr. Ferguson took them home in a bag, and that evening he settled down in his kitchen and began to prise the lids open with a knife. Each coffin contained a miniature wooden figure of human form cut out in wood. The faces in particular were fairly detailed. Some of the figures had missing arms, presumably because they didn't fit in the tiny coffin. They were dressed from head to toe in cotton clothes and laid out with all the trappings of a funeral. Their coffins were regularly shaped and cut out of a single piece of wood, with the exception of the lids, which were nailed down with wire sprigs or brass pins. It was thought the coffins had been placed individually in the little cave, and at intervals of many years. In the first tier, the coffins were quite decayed, and the wrappings had moulded away. In the second tier, the effects of age had not advanced so far, and the top coffin was quite recent looking. For nearly 100 years, not much more was known about the origin or purpose of the strange miniature coffins, and fewer than half of them survived. Those that did eventually found their way into the collection of Robert Fraser, a jeweller who put them on display in his private museum. After Fraser's retirement in 1845, the collection was auctioned off and sold for just over £4. The coffins then passed into unknown private hands and remained there until 1901, when a set of 8, together with their contents, were donated to the National Museum of Scotland by their then owner, Christina Cooper. The mystery was what exactly the coffins were, who had placed them in their hiding place, and when. Several potential explanations were offered, the most popular being that the burials were part of some spell work, or that they represented mimic burials, perhaps for sailors lost at sea. The only comprehensive study of the coffins was carried out several years ago by Alan Simpson and Samuel Menefee, and they pointed out the most striking visual feature of the coffins is the use of applied pieces of tinned iron as decoration. Analysis of this metal suggests that it is very similar to the sort of tin used in shoe buckles, and opens up the possibility that the coffins were the work of a shoemaker or leather worker, who would have had the manual skills to make the coffins, but would have lacked the carpentry skills needed to make a neater job of it. Some disagree with this and believe the coffins represent an event that happened at the time perhaps the loss of a ship with 17 fatalities or some other tragedy. The most obvious being the Westport murders by William Burke and William Hare. Burke and Hare were responsible for 17 murders in Edinburgh during the late 1820s, and it would not be unreasonable for somebody in the absence of the 17 dissected bodies to wish to atone the dead, the majority of whom were murdered in atrocious circumstances, with a form of burial to let their spirits at rest. The most credible theory is that they were made by someone who knew Burke and Hare, and so had a strong motive to make amends for their crimes. Suggestions that Burke and Hare may be responsible for burying the coffins in an act of remorse seems unlikely, as both murderers were arrested almost immediately after committing their 17th killing, leaving little or no time for any burial to be made. A DNA sample for Burke has been obtained from the murderer's skeleton, which is preserved at Edinburgh University, but no traces of DNA could be recovered from the buried figurines. Another objection to this is that no fewer than 12 of Burke and Hare's victims were female, yet the clothed bodies found in the coffins appear to be dressed in male clothing. We think this is one mystery that will never be solved, but the story behind it is fascinating. So that's 5 incredible mysteries of the world and nature. Never forget to take a moment out of your day or week to realize just how incredible and mysterious this planet really is. There are millions of mysteries.
Next. /I had a stroke. He literally just did. Kyle Griffin. Here is a quote from Trump. I tested very positively in another sense, so this morning, yeah, I tested positively towards negatively. Right, so I tested perfectly this morning, meaning I tested negatively. I'm sorry, what? Okay then, that's weird. People hate on Trump now because of how he spoke live on telly a few days ago.
Congratulations! You're 0 coins richer! Me after every work week. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to MK. My name's Robin, and today I'm going to be perusing through r/crappy design. So without further ado, let's dive right in. I feel like this could have been done at least a little bit better. Ah yes, it says Keki Eplar. Somehow I don't think that's her natural jawline. The heck is this even an advertisement for? Sumli Murgu. Right lane closed, but both lanes open. Alright, I'm getting those mixed signals again. Raptor trainer? I could finally get a t-shirt with my dream job on it. What the heck's going on here? It just looks like somebody finished a nice breakfast. Construction Software Party Ltd. That looks fantastic. It really pops, you know? That gray against the silver? This is why flat roofs are always a very bad idea. It's the women's restroom, but everyone's welcome in here. Correct scan price, if known. Required information, correct scan price, if known. See it on screen. What is this supposed to be? Is this some kind of party game? Looks great. It feels like this could have been done a little bit better. Looks great. It feels like this could have been done a little bit better here. Holy cow, that kid's got a runway on his forehead. Those track runners are about to get some sick air. I'm assuming at least 3 feet. Be my people and I will be your god? That's really, really hideous, but at least I was able to read it, I guess? Oh look, it's the commotion. Okay, call me crazy, but I'm not exactly sure what the heck is wrong here. Are they too close together or what? Tell me and I forget in I forget, teach me and I involve me and I learn, involve me and I tell me I forget, tell me me, and I remember, involve me, and I forget, teach me, and I.
This is meant to be on r/IlaStroke, not crappy design.
Karen, your rug sucks. What is going on here? Oh yeah, that ought to keep him out. How hard would it? What is
I don't get it. I actually don't get what's going on here. Is it the mirror here? Because is the mirror meant to be on the outside and not the inside, or like... I don't know. Yeah. Or is the GPS wrong when it's going straight and it says it's going at a bend? Like, I don't know, boy.
going on here? Oh yeah, that ought to keep them out. How hard would it have been to just keep them in line with each other? Seriously, I gotta know, just how difficult would that have been? This gate right here, has to be protecting some kind of magical barrier. I think we're about to head into Terabithia if we head through that little thing. What's with all the terrible fences? Why is this such a common thing?
That's literally Minecraft right there, when the fences don't connect.
For fences to be just wrong. The perfect place set for the little dentist in you. Ah. Question 2. Do you agree or disagree that the school day should be shorter? Disagree or strongly disagree? Oh my gosh, I feel like I've seen this somewhere in my A+ book, and it's not any nicer when it's laid out like this. Your turn. What a lovely font. Not even Comic Sans can beat that beauty. Okay, I got this. It's a bit... Digasa. Nailed it. Look, I know 32 gigabytes is not a lot, but seriously, what the heck could you have on there that's taken up that much space? I use like 2 gigs on my phone. The method of producing...
I'm the same on my one. I mean, like... What's the most that's taken up on my phone, actually? iPhone storage. For me, it is... Photos. Photos and videos are taking up 13.34 gigabytes. So, and for other, it is unknown. Well, that's why it's called other, because it's unknown. I don't actually know. Unless there's a way to find out. I don't know, but
Producing goods that brought workers and machinery together in one place. Factory system. Wrong. You see, the correct answer is factory system. Please note that if you don't link your accounts now, you won't be able to do so later. Link your account. Maybe later. Wait. Guys, I'm not making it to the party. I've got to go to the fine fart sale. Balance accumulation graph. Okay, I understand some of these numbers and words and symbols. Breakdown. Oh, now we've got a pie chart. This is just stupid. Who the heck signed off on this? It's quite clear that it's a non-licensed Frozen ride, but seriously, your standards have to be a little higher than this. Huh. I did not realize that 63 was indeed less than 27. Color me learned. Check this out. Whoa, new iPhone. How'd you get that? Wobble Man. Play games and win iPhone. Yeah, I think I'm good, actually. Ugh. What's your favorite place to go with friends? The movies, the mall, the theme park, the beach, the football, or the other? Oh, again, I didn't realize that 17 was bigger than 22. This is crazy. Yes, this is great. I understand all of this. I'll take all of them? Oh, that's quite tragic. At least they noticed it before he popped a squat. When you go to the bathroom to look at memes, 1 hour poo. Oh, it's like Zach. In case of fire, remember, panic. Pull the fire alarm, activate fire hoses, note possible causes, immediately evacuate, create nursing station outside, remain calm, and remember to panic. Aunt May. Oh gosh, she looks like the Crypt Keeper. Sale off up to 46%. You want to run that by me one more time, please? Also, what's this an advertisement for? Nail shoes? Vegetarian salad. Ooh, complete with sausage. Oh dude, I recognize that character. Wasn't it from that Fallout New Vegas DLC Old World Blues? All right, let's give this a go. I Rhino dies because of in the blank, but a lot skips my mind. I'm more than okay with a vague description of reason, blank. I'm not one of those types of people who hate spoilers as much, but it's a remake and the internet exists. Oh, I see. He messed up his spoiler. Oh, poor guy. Okay, we got a big list here. Your account. That's it. That's all we got. I don't want to read the rest of it. Look, you know Dookie jeans are all the rage in fashion right now, right? What difference does faith make? That's a good question. Deeply cleaning. Say goodbye to blackheads. Ooh, that sounds promising. Yeah, just annihilate the little bastards. Commander, I caught the virus. Leave me. Rescue or leave her. No, I'm leaving her right behind. Practice your kills. Tat for humanity. What? Absolutely epic god tier Photoshop there. Are these mailboxes? What the hell, man? Right-handed, left-handed. What? Asgard, home of Thor and Loki and Odin. Okay, let's give this one a try. And this is my prayer, that love your may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight. Okay, I was kind of able to read that one, but still, what's up with the random text stretching? Stop! Yo, where we headed? We going to Walgreens Pharmacy or the Walgreens? Come a little closer. I double dog dare ya. WTF Mac Store. I'm in. There are phallic influences seen all throughout history. Take a look at this racing toy here. Do you see it? Do you understand? Takeaway has never luso kuka eo do lid nkbio in hour. Delivery coming soon. Mr. Yum. Whatever. It's an advertisement for an embroidered t-shirt. So naturally, we need to have a model that is photoshopped to look like some kind of demon. That'll get them sold. Start small. Start now. Finish big. Investing small amounts frequently can pay off better than investing large amounts all at once. Let us show you how. If you invested $5 a day for 40 years. Okay, these numbers are way off. I've seen these before, and they're wrong. You know, those lockers are kind of small, but I mean, they're not all that bad, I guess. Lightweight and superior comfort. Headphones so comfortable that your microscopic baby can take a nap right in there. 2020 new fashion. Only $4.55 from Anal Sales. Nice guitar, though. Stock up while you're stuck in. Social distancing. How do I stock up if I'm stuck in, you idiot? The College of Santa Clara, also known as COC. Recycling trash only. Oh no, my brain's about to split into 4 pieces. These plastic toy rings for little kids. Candy! Candy can! Oh, that's not gonna get lodged in their throat at all. Touch a day to see forecast bi-hourly. What? Thank you. Thank you very much. This is exactly what I wanted. I love it. I love it so much. The best products. Okay, that's cute. Again, I'm not quite sure. Feeling a little stupid right now. Temperatura gas. Okay, starts at 0, 145, 150, 160, 180, 215, and 240. I mean, other than there being a giant gap between 145 and 150, I guess again, I'm too stupid to understand the problem here. D, screwdriver Y. Know how with show how. Step-by-step photographs for success every time. Gotta rep my favorite city in the world on my t-shirt. Bangkok. Why don't women feel safe on Delhi roads? We are the answer. Oh no. Probably shouldn't advertise that. Google issues security warning for 2 billion Chrome users. Oh boy. Seriously, I feel like any gate, door, chunk of wall, whatever that's situated like this is actively hiding some kind of invisible alternate universe gate. It's gotta be. What drinking game is this? I've never heard of this, and to be honest, I don't want to learn anything about it. Enjoy the much cheaper items sold by Wish. Much cheaper and also much more confusing. What are these for? Stay-at-home orders expiration dates. Okay, alright, and what? That's gonna be fantastic when you have to bend over to pick something up. Best choice AAA batteries, using high-tech devices, such as your 1995 alarm clock, random remote for air conditioner, PlayStation 3 controller, flashlight, and computer mouse. Wired. That keyboard is just all messed up. And random remote for air conditioner, PlayStation.
What's wrong with the PlayStation? Even though it's meant for batteries. Do PlayStation controllers not take batteries anymore, or?
PlayStation 3 controller, flashlight, and computer mouse. Wired. That keyboard is just all messed up. And why does the button in the bottom left say click? Again, I advertise your product all you want, but what's so hard about getting two people to just be in the photo with it? Well, isn't that just a perfect place to put that PNG right over where you're supposed to write? Coffee grinder. Yeah, I sure hope it does. This is just stupid. What a horrible crop job. You should be ashamed. A baking pan clock. Creative use of a baking pan, you know, not for baking, but for keeping time. Come on, guys, you went to elementary school, right? Okay, good. Then you should know that burning down your house is not exactly what you want to be doing. Made in the USA. What USA are you talking about? That flag is missing at least a few stars. Also, thank God, if I buy this, my house is just going to be slightly darker looking. Is that supposed to look this? My house is just going to be slightly darker looking. Is that supposed to look like clam chowder? Where is that? I don't know where that is. This map is highly accurate. You know, we've got that 7,000-foot Statue of Liberty over near New York, the massive buffalo in North Dakota, and then, you know, down near New Mexico, those incredibly large hot air balloons. The Pittsburgh Portable Inflator. Do not use to inflate vehicle tires. What's it for? Awesome. That's a perfect bit of design right there. Bravo. A grill. A grill that's melting. Are you kidding me, guys? Yeah. Home is where we are together. That's just such a stupid and ugly clock, though. Thank God I can see the buttons. Now I just gotta guess which is which. Away. Take away. Take. Excuse me. Take what? It starts action for with healthy kids. Heart. Is this just a version of Uno but with Superman on every card? And I guess that Batman guy down at the bottom? How is this even playable? Oh, perfect spot to put that. Bravo. Bravo, guys. She's the only unicorn in the world with her horn pretty much on the tip of her freaking face, so don't mention anything about it, okay? She's very sensitive. Oh yeah, you're just too cool to have a mailbox that looks like the other guys, huh? You just gotta be different, even if that means being stupid. Ned Sanitizer. Perfect. Just perfect. Now I'm gonna accidentally chug some sanitizer after work. Building objectives. Dude, you gotta... White text with black stroke is readable on any background. This is why you always have a professional do work in your home. Always. Oh my gosh, she looks like the main character of Splice. Shin support. Something's supporting his shins real good. God. Hey, I don't think you're getting an accurate reading on your scale right now, ma'am. Why? No reason. You go right ahead. Huh. You can tell they ran out of proper materials the day this thing was made. North. Somewhere over there, I guess. Beautiful landscape. I love Paris. Me too, yeah. Big Ben? Love visiting Big Ben in Paris. This right here's to measure how long your spine's getting. You know, just 'cause grandma's curious and all. And that is all we've got for you today, folks. Always remember, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button down below. And hey, if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing.
And right then. One more video to go, and it's this one here, even though it was on their previous video. But you know what? I don't care. Let's go.
DMs are fine. She just hasn't responded. Oh, geez, Twitter, why you break my heart like that? Hello there, welcome back to MK. It's me, the voice inside your head that tells you to do bad things. Otherwise known as Jack, and we're gonna look at some r/Mad Lads today. Mate, that is far too much bling for one finger, unless these are all your wedding rings. Elon Musk proposes rave cave under Tesla factory. Off-topic question, but what do you need to get a job at Tesla? What, just some sort of engineer's degree? I'm sure there's a YouTube tutorial for that. Some collective group of asses made this become a Google result for blue. How dare they? Think of the colorblind. Sometimes I pin a comment just so people will roast the guy. I've seen this happen. It's very entertaining. That goes for this comment section. If you guys say anything we don't like, we're gonna pin it. Pin this for no reason. Okay. It's like when you forget Mother's Day and decide to celebrate it the next day instead. May the 5th be with you. I'm gonna give myself a gold award. Because I deserve it. I'm gonna return sometime in the future. Hey guys, I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, the longest commitment to a joke. My sister, 6 years old, just came in my room at 11:45 to shut my Xbox off. Damn, she just does not care about your KD ratio, does she? Welcome to Espanol. This is the start of the Espanol channel. Bonjour. No, you ruined it. Who should Fortnite collab with next? Funeral dances because your game is gonna die. Ooh, jeez, gentle man. In r/medical, come in my eye. No STDs, but I'm more man.
As in. As in. And stop.
In r/medical, come in my eye. No STDs, but I'm worried I'll go blind. I'm trying to make a comment here, but I keep thinking of the situation. If someone comments r/unexpected ASDF movie, I will frickin' delete my account. r/unexpected ASDF movie. Do it. And he committed. Props to him. I grew up without a father, and so I want my son to feel that pain too. Okay, so we actually want to avoid childhood trauma. It's actually a bad thing. I put one of these on the other end of a glory hole, and I imagine the reaction was the same as Drake in your profile pic. I don't actually know what Mr. Oliver's doing here exactly, so I'm just gonna do what I do in most social situations and pretend I'm following along. Oh, yeah, cool. Pranking homeless people.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, cool. Pranking homeless people by giving them money off camera so as not to exploit them. Long live Gus Johnson, you beautiful bastard. Showing an Apple employee a jailbroken phone. See, it only goes for 11 seconds because the store actually exploded after the event. You can trust me, I'm a news reporterologist. I have enough experience, hire me, American Airlines. Well, let's see your resume. Microsoft Flight Simulator, 14,305 hours! Okay, I did the maths. This is almost 2 years of game time. Straight game time. I genuinely wonder if he actually could. This song makes me want to reply to my own comment. Oh, same. Oh, you crafty devil. No sending 12 freaking messages, then say sorry. Got it, Jaden? I'm serious about this. Sorry. Please ignore. This is a test post to see why if my post is not showing up. Edit. Why is that my top post is this one, while the real one I took over 2 years to make only got 7? Because it's the internet. That's why. Thanks for your support. Yeah, that would be right for the internet. Just retweeted, liked, and commented on my own tweet because I don't even care. Yeah, I guess you can do whatever you want when you do a lot of bean therapy.
Being the therapist. Whatever, gonna have a toilet. Be right Okay. Took way too long. Something looks off, and I don't know what. Let me watch some of this.
Peas? What even is that? Hentai. Family-friendly content. Go search it. Wow, my kids and I love to watch the family-friendly genre of anime called hentai. Oh no, get back, Christian mothers! It's a trap! Goodbye. Alrighty. Goodbye, account. Man, people on Reddit really commit to this thing, don't they? 3 men charged with circuit breaker offenses. 1 accused of drunkenly banging head on police car. My guess is him, but I think he's just hiding his face from the cameras. Like, why though? The mask is covering 50% of your face anyway. Might as well put it in the proper spot. Shredding carnivorous. Thanks, Goza. Thanks for doing your part. What you want? Eat my ass, please. I ran out of toilet paper. Use your tongue to clean me. Lamau. Hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you. I like to imagine this guy was typing with one hand and using the rest of the toilet paper with the other. Because if I have to imagine it, so do you. I was kicked out of Mega Church for eating Cheetos. Ask me anything. Now that's one I can get behind. It's always a fun time when a wrong number texts you. Send me the test answers. This is Amaya. Start from 18. 18 is this. Huh? Just kidding. 18 is A. Ugh. Keep going. And on that day, Amaya failed the test, resorting to selling feet pics online as a career instead. I also want to give a special star of evilness to Chloe here for the fact that she actually checks how many questions Amaya has before continuing to troll her. Wife, I regret getting you that blender for Christmas. Me drinking toast? Why? I was lifeguarding and a little boy threw his ball out of the water and his mum goes, maybe if you ask the pretty lifeguard, she will grab the ball for you. This kid looked me dead in the eye and goes, where's the pretty one? I got gold once for saying yeah. Yeah. Lecturer said using the correct Gaelic names for locations in my dissertation was inconsistent.
Hold on a minute, is that... Okay, for some reason that still looks off to me, but... Sorry dude, what? I mean, for God's sake, yeah. That's... Ah! Now I'm just confused. Said two people. Apparently the whole time one person's been watching, even though it says nobody's watching. What? What? Now that I refresh it, 2 people are watching. Okay, that is confusing. Yeah, after getting copyrighted last time, I'm not gonna check other people's videos in my comments. Like, I'm very aware about it. Like, extremely aware about stuff like that now, so... And that's from doing over a 2-hour live stream that I had to delete. And it really annoyed me. I was really peed off about it, so... Fine, I'll have a quick look. Only a quick look, though. Copy, paste name, and month ago. Huh? Hey, check out the video. Hold on, but your video was a month ago. Hold on, 222. Okay. Oldest, I guess. I don't know. 5 years. Now let me go back to newest. Actually, let me check there. Why is it not let me go any further down? Videos, well, where's the more thing? Oh! Oh, okay. All I'm looking for is for 222. The beginning of it. 2220. Pretty good. Oh! Oh. For God's sake! By John Boris. Ah, sorry, dude. Oh, for God's sake. What? I thought it was on your flipping. Oh, I thought it was on your channel. Okay. Clearly, I'm an idiot. 222, pretty good. um. 222, pretty good. Okay, right. So, is it this one here? 3 years ago. It's this one, isn't it? Right? It's not on mine. I was wondering why. Yeah, yeah. Just I'm just not replying to them, but like speaking, replying, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. I don't know what happened. Oh, the top one. Right, okay then. So I know it's the top one now. Right then.
It's now been 100 years since the worst beatdown between grown adults in the history of American sports. There is so much to tell. There's the dog that chased one of the players around the stadium. There's the kicker who caught his own kick for a touchdown. There's the player who entered the game, took a snap, threw the ball in the air in a state of sheer terror, ran off the field and hid. And of course, there's the score. In 1916, Georgia Tech's football team beat Cumberland College by a score of 202. Oh, sorry. I forgot one.
Hold on. It's what?
Forgot one.
It was not a football game. Wait, so is this all about football? I mean, I have to be honest, I'm not into football, but if you still want me to watch it... Oh, there's copyrighted stuff. Oh. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if the live stream will be taken down from it. Ah. Oh no, the audio stream's current bitrate is, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give it a chance. If it comes up with a warning, then I'm stopping as quick as possible. As quick as possible. Right.
$222 points in a game. That is an unbreakable record. It has been 67 years since a team scored even half that many. To do this, Georgia Tech.
I have watched a few football games. Give me a minute, hold on. The most that I've probably seen is... $10, maybe 11 in a normal football game. No. 222? Let me look at what
It
it
has been 67 years since a team scored even half that many. To do this, Georgia Tech had to score 32 touchdowns in 55 minutes, which means it had to score a touchdown every minute 43. Now, it is fair to say that Georgia Tech was a million times better than Cumberland College, but that doesn't explain this. Vast superiority alone explains Secretariat, who won the Belmont by 31 lengths. It explains the 1940 Chicago Bears, who won the NFL championship 73-0. It explains the time UConn women's basketball took a 74-9 lead on SMU. Those are routes, yeah, they're blowouts. This was an irrational, malicious act of cruelty that just happened to also technically barely be a sporting event. We have accounts of what happened. It's scoreable. We can score it. In the same way we can award a blue ribbon to a supernova. But first, let's understand where this malice came from. It's 1915. Cumberland's team, which used to be good, is now terrible. The coach is a reverend from around town who doesn't know the rules and doesn't approve of all the violence, so he makes up new practice drills that are more to his liking. In one drill, he has two guys stand a few feet apart and just lob the ball to each other over and over and over. In another drill, he has them sit in a circle and close their eyes, and he would place the ball behind one of them, and then they'd have to guess which one had the ball. It was like an even worse version of Duck Duck Goose. I don't know, I feel stupid even talking about it. Unsurprisingly, none of the players came back after that season.
Hold on a minute. Is this... Wait, so...
Really is
lobbing the football back and forth to each other. What is this? Football? Is this football or blooming... What do you call it? Basketball or something? Like...
Two guys tickle and close their eyes, and he would place the ball behind one of them. I don't know, I feel stupid even talking about it. Unsurprisingly, none of the players came back after that season, and it was up to George Allen, the 20-year-old athletic manager, to save Cumberland football. He figured that if the baseball team could get a little bit of buzz, it could sell enough tickets to finance the football team, so he arranged for Cumberland baseball to beat their opening opponent as badly as they could. Thing is, Cumberland players weren't good enough to do that, so he convinced a minor league baseball team to dress up in Cumberland's uniforms and play as them. It was an entire team full of ringers. I couldn't confirm this, but I believe...
Oh, American football. Yeah, it's because I'm British. That's why I'm getting confused. Because yeah, I mean, as you know, British people. I mean, maybe if you don't, we've got round footballs in football. So yeah. Yeah.
The minor league team in question was the Nashville Volunteers, half of whom had Major League Baseball experience. Cumberland destroyed Georgia Tech, 22-0. They were hitting everything. After a while, they got bored and they just started bunting every at-bat, and they still scored 3 more runs just by bunting. Georgia Tech baseball was humiliated, and so was their coach. His name was John Heisman.
Actually, I'm worried that my microphone might be too loud. I'm talking or coughing, so is there subtitles? Okay, right.
Heisman was a great baseball coach, but he remains one of football's architects. Let's look at a modern-day football.
Hold on. Why is the text so small? Jeez, how the hell do I make the text bigger? Why is it so small? What? Okay, that's confusing them. Why the hell it's so small? I mean, hold on. Do you even see that on the live stream? Like if you're watching on a phone? Jeez, how the hell do I... What? Okay, is this it? No, it's at 480p. Okay. Oh yeah, that's clear enough. Okay. On my computer screen. Well, it's not a computer screen, it's a telly, but it's small enough for me to use as a computer screen. Okay, yeah. I can see that, yeah.
Game. The scoreboard shows the down, yardage, and game clock. That was John Heisman's idea. The quarterback yells, "Hut." Heisman came up with that. Then the center snaps the ball in the air to the quarterback. Heisman invented that. Then the quarterback throws a forward pass. Heisman invented that too. This quarterback was the best in the nation, so they gave him a trophy called the Heisman Trophy. In showing up John Heisman, Cumberland angered a football god. 1916 rolled around, and Cumberland no longer had a football team. Heisman didn't care. Georgia Tech Cumberland was on the football schedule, and Heisman threatened to charge the school $3,000 if they forfeited. That's $66,000 in today's money, and it was more than Cumberland could comfortably afford. Heisman had another target: sports writers. Couldn't stand him. I mean, it's not for no reason. Sports writers are useless. Like, we are useless. Heisman took issue with the way sports writers oversimplified. They figured that the more points a team scored, the better that team was. Heisman knew it wasn't as simple as that, so he wanted to rack up as many points on Cumberland as he possibly could to show that if you really wanted to and your opponent was bad enough, you could score as much as you wanted. In order to save themselves a crippling amount of debt, Cumberland rounded up a bunch of law students, some of whom didn't even know how to play football, and sent them to play against what may have been the best football team on the planet. It's the afternoon of October 7th, 1916. H.J. Carney waits for the opening kickoff to fall out of the sky. He doesn't move. He looks to his right, where Edwards, the quarterback, makes a block. He turns to his left, where a man listed as George Murphy gets ready to throw another block. This is not actually George Murphy. This is...
No, I wonder how long it took for this guy to do every single screenshot on this video.
He looks to his right, where Edwards, the quarterback, makes a block. This is not actually George Murphy. This is Johnny Dog Nelson, the only ringer George Allen was able to recruit this time around. He's a former player and a sports writer by trade. Here he is reporting on another football team a month from now. Johnny Dog looks entirely. Carney still hasn't moved. He's clobbered right where he caught the ball. Edwards, who made the first block, is knocked out cold. Cumberland has lost its quarterback on the first play of the game. Cumberland gains 3 yards on its first play from scrimmage. It's one of only 4 times they'll get past the line of scrimmage all day. They choose to punt on 3rd down, and Tech scores 2 plays later. Cumberland fumbles on 1st and 10, Tech scores. Cumberland fumbles on 1st and 10 again, Tech scores again. By the 18th play of the game, Tech is already up 28-0. Everything is as it should be. Georgia Tech is a powerhouse. They were in the middle of a 33-game undefeated streak that lasted more than 4 years. Up 28-0, Georgia Tech is stopped at the 1, but it's not because Cumberland stopped them. The opposite, actually. Tech's running back, Strupp Strupper, takes it to the 1 untouched. The Cumberland players actually get out of his way, but then he downs it. What happens next comes from a book about this game called You Dropped It, You Pick It Up by Jim Paul. It is the most complete source on this game I was able to find. Sadly, it's out of print. It explains that another of Tech's running backs, Canty Alexander, had yet to ever score a touchdown, and his teammates liked to give him grief about it. A week prior, Tech got to the 1 and handed Alexander the ball, and then his linemen just moved out of the way and let him get clobbered for 3 straight downs, and then they gave somebody else the ball to score on 4th down. They were gonna do the same thing here. The Tech players just hit the dirt and gave up, but then for some reason, the Cumberland players did too. Maybe they were scared, maybe it was some weird animalistic instinct, or maybe they just didn't know what to do. That left Alexander as the only man standing on the field.
Oh, and again, since I'm British, is this guy on about another game, or is he still on about football? Like, I know I keep pausing it, and it must be annoying, but I'm just... It's still American football, isn't it? Why does it look so much like, rugby? I forgot what it's called. Not rugby, not the... Like, the, game. Whatever it's called. Why does it look like... Why does it look like so... What is it? Completely... A different game. I'm really confused now. Why does this look so much like, what's that other game called? There's another, I'm sure there's another game where you pick up the ball and you hold it. Or am I still thinking of American football? It's where you pick up the ball, run with it, and then throw it over like a pole thing. That's still American football, isn't it? I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know. Forget it for now.
Instinct, or maybe they just didn't know what to do. That left Alexander as the only man standing on the field, 1 yard from the goal. This should be the easiest touchdown of all time, but he bobbles the snap and he inadvertently boots it a couple of times before he finally recovers it in the end zone. As a 2-team effort, it's probably one of the dumbest plays in the history of football. So after the touchdown, Georgia Tech receives the kickoff. Yeah, Georgia Tech, who just scored, receives the kickoff. See, back in the day, if your opponent scored on you, you had the option of kicking or receiving on the ensuing play. I don't know why you...
Hold on a minute, there used to be... Oh, they used to be... They use the same... That of rugby... So it's rugby I must be thinking about then. It must be rugby then, surely. Hold on. Rugby game. Let's do video instead. Okay, Christmas time.
Hands on it. What can they do?
Oh, wait. Copyright. This could be copyrighted. Like, I'm really, like, cautious about that. Even when the audio's muted, I still could get copyrighted. I mean, I don't care if I get copyrighted, I just don't want the live stream being, you know, copyrighted to the point where it has to be taken down and all that rubbish, so... Yes! Okay, that is probably what I was thinking of, yeah. But for some reason I remember the 2 poles being shorter, like up to here, or whatever. I don't know, I just remember them being shorter. Not on this exact game, obviously, but just like... no. Yeah.
He would ever do this or why this was an option, but it was, and throughout the game, Cumberland chose to kick after being scored on 5 times. Early in the second quarter, Tech leads 70-0. Against all odds, Cumberland actually finds itself a 3rd and 1. Coach Allen wants to catch them off guard, and he wants to do this by punting. George E. Allen will later go on to have an eventful life. He'll serve as a political operative and become close with FDR, Truman, and Eisenhower. They were presidents who had known him. He even wrote a book. It was called Presidents Who Have Known Me. But for now, he is a nervous 20-year-old nobody coaching against John Heisman. He orders his team to punt, but in the huddle...
And how much of the other video have I got left? Okay, well, I can't... I don't know how much... should I keep watching? Okay. Supposed to remember that the timestamp, right? Because what I'll do is that I'm gonna watch the rest of MK, as in the other video here. What I'll do is that I'll watch this, and then tomorrow, if I'm on, maybe try and watch the rest of this. I mean, yeah, if it's gonna be tomorrow, then, and if you're on tomorrow, try and remind me or whatever if you can. To keep watching stuff like this, I find more funny and. I guess I'll watch the rest of this.
They decide, no, we are absolutely not punting on 3rd and 1. They line up, Leon McDonald gets the pitch right, and then rather than go the 1 yard for the first down, he panics and punts anyway. It bounces out of bounds 11 yards downfield. Play 45. Morris Gouger fields the kick, and Georgia Tech's special team unit somehow overruns him. There's nothing but open field in front of him. He has daylight. Cumberland hasn't even made it to the 50-yard line yet. A touchdown would be unthinkable. Morris trips and falls over a teammate at his own 20. His teammate was looking for his glasses. Play 48. Edwards, the quarterback who was knocked out cold on the first play of the game, is sent back in. He can't really walk straight. He can't even talk. He is showing obvious concussion-like symptoms. He can't call for the snap. His impatient center snaps it anyway and pops him right in the head. Edwards has now appeared in 2 plays and has been carried off the field unconscious 2 times. Later, this will also happen a 3rd time. Today we look on this with horror. Back then, a concussion was treated about as seriously as a Charlie horse. This game has entered an unbelievably lengthy season.
What's a Charlie horse? I don't think I've ever heard of that. What is a Charlie horse? Oh, Charlie. A concussion was treated as badly as much as what? Broken knee, being hit in the knee, or ankle. What does it actually say here? Charlie horse? Oh, a muscle spasm. Oh, God. No. Okay. Alright.
Sequence. Between plays 44 and 82, the line of scrimmage never leaves Cumberland's red zone. For 39 straight plays, about 1/3 of the game, the line of scrimmage for both teams is always inside the Cumberland 20. This is absolutely ludicrous, and it's also what makes Georgia Tech's total offense all the more impressive. See, Tech only managed 471 offensive yards, which is not a ton. That's because they dominated Cumberland's offense so completely that their own offense just didn't have enough room to gain a lot of yards. Look at where their offense got the ball. Only a few of these could be considered real drives in the traditional sense. Most of them started inside the 20. They couldn't gain yards because they kept running out of them. Contrast this with a game Tech played against Vanderbilt in 2016, just a few weeks ago. Tech won 38-7. It was a great game for them. Taking into account turnovers, returns, and every other time they touched the ball on a play.
I have to be honest, the reason why I'm being quiet for a lot of it is because I'm just not understanding a lot of it. I mean, like, I don't know. 6 minutes and 12 seconds, there could have been something really cool and interesting, and being like, oh my god, blah blah blah, you know. And that could have just went right over my head. I really don't know. But some of it I am understanding, like, I mean, I have to be honest, I learned something. I mean, I didn't know what a Charlie thing was. I've already forgotten the blooming name of it, but oh god, what was the name of it? Charlie horse, that's it. Charlie, I need to remember that.
Play-by-play basis, they picked up 17% of the yards they could possibly get. And remember, that's a one-sided route. The 1916 team picked up 72% of all possible yards. No matter where you dropped Georgia Tech on the field, they were highly likely to score immediately on that play. It's staggering. Jim Priest is Georgia Tech's kicker, and he's bored. By the time this game is all over, he will have kicked 18 extra points. He bets his teammate a steak dinner that he can kick a ball through the uprights on a kickoff. But then he one-ups himself and he turns on the Jets. Morris Gouger, while lining up for the catch, smacks into the goalpost. The ball bounces off his head and into Priest's arms. Jim Priest has just caught his own kickoff for a touchdown. It's halftime. Coach Allen's team is physically and emotionally destroyed. Cumberland is losing 126-0. If that were a final score today, it would be the worst final score since 1930.
If they score, I mean, there's one thing that I don't understand. If they score, is it 1 point at a time, or is it like if they score once, is it like 5 points at a time or 10 points at a time? Like, I don't quite understand. So it would just be 1 point at a time, like British football, wouldn't it? Like, I don't. Because surely one team couldn't have scored 222 individual times, like, right? Or am I just thinking of it completely wrong? Right, what can I say to try and figure this out? How does American football work? How does American football scoring work, I guess? How does American football scoring work? I'm not sure if it's like scoring a touchdown is worth 6 points. Okay, so how for a touchdown? Kicker has changed. So it's 7 points at a time, or six. Okay, so 6 points for a touchdown, an extra point. Okay, so right, is it your latest sim video? Because if it is, I will try to react to it tomorrow. Because it's already getting fairly late and I want to watch these last two videos.
Hello and well.
There's Sims there. Okay, 2 weeks ago, right.
Hello and
Any copyrighted stuff? I'm normally when I'm just watching when I'm watching a video, normally I don't care about copyright stuff because I'm not obviously recording and live streaming, but yeah, since I had to take down I have to go. You have a good day. I mean, actually for me it's a good night, but I mean you're like 5 hours behind, or I mean then again depending on where you live, but Yeah, you have a good day. You have a good day too. Oh yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I don't care about copyrighted music and all that when I'm not streaming or recording, but obviously when I am, I'm always going to check because of what happened to the 2-hour live stream at one point.
Welcome to the channel where people
Okay, so it's only a minute long, so
get
I'll
seizures
watch it
every
then.
time I upload a video. Consider subscribing or I will hack your mom's Pinterest account. So today there are
If
4
she had
lucky
one.
Sims that get to go to the happiest place ever. Even better than your local Disney store.
Your professionalism by standing there.
Kiss on his maybe.
Disgusted that you're standing
Robbie?
there.
Ogre.
Or would you like some popcorn?
Robbie? Ogre.
You don't know how to flush the toilet after they've had a shit?
That's loud.
Disgusting!
Yeah, sure. Just sit there and watch your friend die. Like it's a normal thing. All because of that damn phone. Now nothing should go wrong.
Six and a half hours later.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
How the turntables.
Containers of pasta cooked. All this work for what?
What's he doing?
I am not giggling.
Definitely not weird and strange, but I don't know. Yeah.
Too. Alan has no choice. He has to go talk to the man himself. He figures maybe Heisman will agree to end the game at 1/2. After all, Cumberland held up their end of the bargain. They showed up. Georgia Tech has all its gate receipts. It's true that John Heisman is a disciplined man. In fact, he was famous for telling his teams, better to have died a small boy than to fumble this football. But he's also a noble sportsman. Maybe he'll show mercy. Heisman does agree to shorten the game. By 5 minutes. He is a creator of this game. He is a football god, and a god who takes instruction from the God of the Old Testament. He is here to reduce them all to pillars of salt. He is a creator of fear and of you. He will grind your bones to make his bread. Skimming 5 minutes off the end still guarantees Cumberland 25 minutes of horror. Sometimes a weak expression of pity is the deepest act of cruelty. Play 78. Johnny Dog fields the kick. He looks before him. All his teammates have fallen to the ground in resignation. He staggers to the 10, and then he joins them. Edwards is back in the game despite being knocked unconscious twice. He takes the snap and pitches it to Johnny Dog, who pitches it back. Neither of them want the ball. They keep tossing it back and forth, demanding that the other one take it. And the weight of a Georgia Tech tackler crashes down on them both. Edwards is carried off the field a third time. Alright, brief disclaimer. I'm about to tell you a part of the story that I don't think is true. It's in the book, so I'm going to tell you about it, but as the story goes, by now Cumberland is short on willing and able players. At least 2 players have run away and hid. 2 more players have leg injuries. So Coach Allen ties their injured legs together and has them hobble along on the field as one man. Play 84. Coach Allen sends in a law student known simply as Pee-wee, who is only here to impress his professors. Pee-wee does not know anything about the rules of football. He is ensured that he will not have to touch the ball or actually do anything. The center direct snaps him the ball, He stumbles around in a state of panic, then flings the ball away in fright. In the ensuing scramble, he runs away. He is now the fourth Cumberland player to try to run out of Grant Field. He hides behind a fence where two other players are hiding. They don't want him to give away their hiding spot, so they throw him back over the fence. There is no escape. Play 86. Johnny Dog is chased around the stadium by an actual dog who has wandered in from the stands. Sure, why not? If you're a regular viewer, you'll probably remember this little guy. All I can conclude is that in the early 20th century, wild dogs were everywhere. Play 94. Georgia Tech scores to make it 173-0. The point after attempt that follows is poetry. If Cumberland just lets this extra point sail through, the final score ends up being 223-0. But they block it, unwittingly ensuring the precision of Heisman's revenge. A 22-0 baseball loss is answered by a 222-0 unholy clobbering. I don't know how or why Cumberland finds resolve to fight at this moment, but they do. They execute what's known as the climb the ladder play, which has since been made illegal. One player gets on all fours and grabs the knees of a second player, who bends over at the waist and grabs the stomach of a third player. A fourth player, Vishy Woods, steps over their backs and shoulders and leaps as high as he can. This is Vishy Woods' face before the play. This is Vishy Woods' face after this play.
Shut up.
This is Vishy Woods' face before after.
Jesus Christ. Did he need plastic surgery or something? Or what the hell? Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this straight. The ball hit him in the face and flung him into the sun, and then he flew back down and nearly died. Being illiterate. Okay, so the ball hit him and it actually caused that much damage? Then again, footballs and all that were a lot harder back then. Jeez. That's mental. Hold on, so is that the whole video, or is there like more to it? I'm guessing that's the whole video then, so... okay then. Right then, let's just get back to this one, I guess.
As the rest was written in English. I have resolved this by typing it up entirely in Gaelic. You have fun with that. Yes, I'm sure he will gladly give you a higher mark now that you've utterly pissed. Lecturer said you... I got gold once for saying yeah. Yeah. Lecturer said using the correct Gaelic names for locations in my dissertation was inconsistent as the rest was written in English. I have resolved this by typing it up entirely in Gaelic. You have fun with that. Yes, I'm sure he will gladly give you a higher mark now that you've utterly pissed him off. Which one of you was trying to get me to watch anime? Someone actually did this.
Wait.
Reply to this with a phrase in a native language and I'll try to translate it. Here comes Seth with the right hook. Ikia. I've read up on this ibophobia before. I'm genuinely curious if someone has this or if it's just a huge joke. Like naming the fear a palindrome itself? That's just cruel. Church annoyed after $20 donation turned out to be lecture on evolution. The First Church of the Trinity Blessed was appalled because an atheist has infiltrated the sanctity of the church and left a fake donation after the services. Props to the article for making this sound like some sort of heist movie. Still, I can imagine this guy trying to hold it together after handing in the $20 note. Hey Pokey, wanna get dinner or see a movie sometime? Nope, I am staying home, as should you. My, a very respectable rejection from the home team there. Note that this comment is 5 months old. All memes die, only to be resurrected in Spooktober.
Hey.
You never comment is 5
months old? It says 5 days there. And again, obviously it took him 5 days later. And then, obviously, he reacted to it a few months later. 5 months old? Okay, so... No. This was in January, but apparently the coronavirus was a thing in somewhere in December 2019. So I don't know.
5 months old. All memes die, only to be resurrected in Spooktober. You never expected me to return after 179 days. It's more unexpected than the Spanish Inquisition. Also, Reddit deletes posts once they reach 180 days old, so if you want to make a comment, you only have 1 day to do it. I don't know what he was trying to achieve here, but I think he achieved it. I won't stop mining until I have a netherite beacon. Will people ever stop finding things to achieve in Minecraft? Xbox. Leave it to Microsoft to name a game console. Stop finding
11 hours! Oh my flipping god.
Things to achieve in Minecraft? Xbox. Leave it to Microsoft to name a game console after your former wife's private parts. Well, Microsoft is named after your penis, so why not? What was that one weird thing you did as a kid? I used to pretend to get stung by jellyfish so that my uncle would pee on me, lol. I don't even know why, I just liked it. Why did you heart this? What is a question that you wish someone would ask you? If I've ever won the San Francisco Middle School Citywide Ballroom Tango Competition. Have you ever won the San Francisco Middle School Citywide Ballroom Tango Competition, George? No. I have 5 followers, how do I get rid of them? Do you want less followers? Because this is how you get more followers. Let's all follow OP. I'm down. Okay, what the frick, which one of you used my business email for a furry social media dating site? Wish I was joking. It's okay, you don't need to fight it. Accept your true calling. If you didn't make it, don't frickin' post it. Warning, this is not my post, this is you called on Cobb. Damn, the guy even followed up on himself. So I had a Zoom class today and one of my students decided to appear like this. Well, look, I haven't shaved in the last 5 days myself, so I don't blame this guy for getting off his routine a little. Don't shame him. Fake taxi, but every sound is from Minecraft. I'll be back, guys. I'm just gonna look up a video. Learn Japanese in 4 hours. Oh, the Japanese basics you need. Speeds up the video 2 times. Learns Japanese in 2 hours. Do we still call out big brain moves? Because that's a big brain move. 4 months ago. Anyone else notice how in 1820 there was a pandemic and in 1920 as well? What if it...
Hold on. By 2 times? Oh, I see, yeah.
happens again in 2020. Edit. Well, shit. Yeah, you could have warned us better than hanging out around our orbit, moon. Some men just want to watch the world burn. That's better than... I rickroll my entire chemistry class. Aw, you're want to watch the world burn. I rickroll my entire chemistry class. Aw, you're horrible. Hey, how was your 2020 so far? For me, it's been the most difficult month of my life, and I will say why in the comments below. Why? He was honest, and I respect him for that. I sent this to 5 of my teachers and the principal. Wish me luck. Hope I don't die. Sickness, panic, stress, people dying. Schools. Can I offer you extra work in this trying time? I mean, do we get a choice anyway?
I mean, you have to admit that is true. This is true.
This has to be an Australian invention. This cannot be anything but an Australian invention. Hungarian protesters hijack Soviet-era tank. Hungarian...
Could have been American. I've seen, Tarasku, aka Crazy Russian Hacker, used something similar.
Anti-government protesters have gained control of a Soviet-era T-34 tank in Budapest during street riots that have marred the 50th anniversary of this anti-Soviet uprising. Well, what the hell happened? I want to know. Did they use it? You want to see my balls? Ew, no. What the frick? Oh, it's just his tennis balls. Okay, that's fine. You want to see my cock? Let me guess, you were going to send me a chicken. Ow! Look, it's the real thing.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
In front of a toilet bowl. How tasteful. Hey, Elon Musk, can you put an anime flag on the moon? No reason, just pretty funny. You got it. One of these days, Elon, you're gonna make a promise that you just can't keep. I once stepped on the not a step part of a stepladder to change a light bulb. Ladies, please, keep your clothes on. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks. Any ideas? Divorce her! Michigan pilot gives a literal F you to governor over coronavirus lockdown. Wow, that is impressive. I feel so bad that I didn't actually get this until I saw the emoji. I feel like he's being an asshole here. My family doesn't speak English, so I can just listen to this video on speakers with my father and little brother next to me without problems. This is actually a great motivation to learn another language, so you can shit talk with your friends without anyone else noticing. People drive 10 times safer with a $500 TV in their car than they do with their own or their family's lives in it. Well, you don't want to break the TV. Implying I want to break my yeah, actually, no, sister's kind of annoying. The place my dad puts his phone and it has no case. Ooh, look, an anxiety trigger.
But the thing is, hold on a minute. I think that's already cracked. Unless he's got a screen protector. But it still is already cracked. What?
Dad puts his phone and it has no case. Ooh, look, an anxiety...
Is that an iPhone 10 or 11? That is anxiety.
Trigger. Confession. When I was at NASA, I created this image from our CAD model of the rover before it launched. The media loved it, and now it's one of the top images when you Google Curiosity rover. But they never found the proof of aliens on Mars. Alf was right there the whole time. Yep, I actually looked it up. It's on the Wikipedia page as we speak.
What is it exactly? I can't tell. A donkey looking thing? Like, what? I don't actually know. I really don't know.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Warzone Battle Royale, 20 kill win, intense. Personally not my kind of kink, but I'll respect it. The use of the term anti-vaxxer suddenly becomes illegal. What do you call them instead? Idiots. That's the first thing that came to my mind as well. Short and sweet and to the point. Short and sweet and to the point, like the lifespan of their children. Whoop, there it is! Reading 10,000 digits of pi, but every time there's a 69, I drink. Where do you people even find these videos? I mean, I just look up one scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then all of a sudden I'm spammed with that stuff on YouTube. Alright guys, that does us for some Mad Lads today. Like the video if you enjoyed the content today. Of course, if you're new here, be sure to check out some more videos, subscribe and click that notification bell if you would like to see more of us. But of course, my name was Jack.
Wow. Bloody wow. Here's a Mad Lad thing for you. I've had this cup of tea since 8 o'clock. Bloody cold. Not even joking. Cold tea. To me it brings out the flavour more. Don't know why, but as in to me it tastes a lot sweeter than if it was hot. But you know what, who cares? Sort of felt something hard on my lips then. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here now. So yeah, give me a minute. Yeah, as you can see by the time, it's getting really late now, so I'm gonna end it here now and go to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Nearly forgot my outro then. Like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you guys get notified on when I upload or live stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Bye.